Welcome to episode 24 of the Bolton Wanderers Road to Glory series, our first day in the championship. First thing we're going to do is take a look at the objectives the board is going to give us this season. Nothing critical to note of, so youth development is high. Now the first short-term one is grow 2 youth academy players by at least 10 overall points. Play them in 10 matches, either part of the starting 11 or coming in as a sub. Now, I've seen this one before from another YouTuber, and I believe all that growth has to occur after you've signed them. And then the long term, within 2 seasons, have at least 3 players from the Youth Academy signed in the first season, play at least 30% of the games in the next season. So I wasn't planning on doing a whole lot of youth academy stuff here, but I guess we're going to have to assign at least 3 players. Brand exposure. Sell out at least 85% attendance in half of the league home games. So we'll have 23 home games, and that means at least 12 of those 85% attendance. Hopefully in the championship that won't be as hard as it was going to be in League One. Financial also high, but not going to be as difficult as last season, basically keeping players' salary growth under 20%. So we'll have to see in the first week what the total salary is and do a little calculation there. And domestic success, they're not expecting us to do anything but finish mid-table and also reach round of 32 in the FA Cup once again. So this year is going to be focused on growth, not so much on winning. As we look here, we did not get much of a budget. We'll shift it all over to one side here. I've got nearly $5 million to spend, which I need $4 million by January if I'm going to keep Kristen Pulisic on here, but his wage is already at 20 grand, so if he stays on the same budget, we're going to have to earn a little bit of money. Shouldn't be too hard, as we've got a couple players to sell. And of course, another way to make some money here is a preseason tournament. So we're going to select the one we can make the most money at, which would be this one. Okay, and it looks like we've been selected in the group with SK Sturm Graz, BK Haken, and Cordoba CF. On the other group, it is Merca, Austrian Vine, Barnsley, an interesting draw there, and CD Lugo. So we get the tournament started off as the home squad versus BK Haken out of Sweden. And it started off rather well as Connor Chaplin's going to pick up the ball here and fire one from distance, but it's straight at Nagy. Just minutes later, Souza is going to center this in nicely for Javier, but he hits it straight at the keeper as well. Haken get their best chance of the first half just moments later. Lashe with probably the best opportunity of the game, but he misses from close range. And then Clough has one from distance, and it's just wide. And it ends up as a 0-0 draw. So 1 point from the first game. Next up, we're on the road facing Cordoba. Now they beat their first game 4-1, so I put out my best squad in this one. Clough here is going to find Spearing, who finds Wilkinson, who's through, and it could be the first of the season, but Pedro makes a nice save there. Then a corner moments later finds the head of Beavers, but he can't quite put it on target. And keeping the pressure on, Harrison's going to get a great opportunity, but it puts it into the side netting. Cordoba finally getting on the action. There's some good passing there, but Amos is up to it. Then a free kick just minutes later Gets popped up in the air, and the header goes and tries to find the near post, but Amos is up to it. 10 minutes into the second half, the deadlock is broken. Has a good bit of passing there, but an even better strike as Amos stretches but can't quite reach it. Then the chance to equalize. Half hour remaining. Clough with the shot, but he hits the crossbar. That's cleared away. Then as time is expiring, Wilson's going to get a chance, but he can't quite put it on target. It's a 1-0 loss. So for the final match, I was going to put in just the youngsters, but Storms drew with Hacken, so we still had a chance at this. It didn't get off to a great start as the header is basically chested in by our own young center back Mason. But a save from Jaskalainen, and it's put away by the opposition. So we're down 1-0 6 minutes in. And that's exactly how I felt. But we almost drew level there as Prattley, he's going to fire one. We hit the crossbar for the second time early in the tournament. Then it was nearly doubled from Stroom as he's going to hit the post there, and it'll be cleared away. And Sam Mason's, our young center back's bad day continues as he picks up a red card for that challenge. And we're down to 10 men with an hour remaining. We almost got one back early in the second half as it falls to the feet of Walker, but a great save there from the keeper. And a couple more chances late in the game, but I will fire the equipment manager after this tournament as he forgot to pack our scoring boots. So it's another 1-0 draw. We end up with 1 point from the tournament. And it really wouldn't have mattered as we look here. Hacken beat Cordoba 2-1. So it was all for naught. We're out of the tournament pretty early. Basically a repeat of last season's preseason tournament where we drew the first game and then lost the next two. But we'll move on as the transfer offers come in here for Ben Alnwick. Of course, we had him on the transfer list as we are stacked at keeper this year. I'm only going to ask for value. So we'll see if Shrewsbury, which is interesting enough, they bought Mark Howard off of us last season, will pay 400 grand. An offer also come in for Jamie Proctor, who we had transfer listed. I believe we are stout up top this year. Once again, only going to ask value. We'll see if Millwall will bite. And Shrewsbury are going to buy the second keeper off of us. 400 grand should be added to our budget. And it looks like Jamie Proctor will be leaving us as well, as Millwall have met that price. And there's confirmation. So 250 grand added to the transfer budget. That'll help. We earned about just under $1 million for the preseason tournament. And another youngster here going to go out on loan. That's the third one this kind of early season. Offer come in for Tommy Thompson from Derby. He's valued at 1.6. I bought him for 1.2. I'm going to ask 1 3/4. So that's going to be the set price for him. We'll see if somebody will pay that. Maybe it'll be Derby County. And we get news that Proctor has been sold, so that's another $475,000 added to the transfer budget. And it's the beginning of August, so our Scout Future Stars come back, and he looks absolutely fabulous. Potential of 84 to 94. Center mid. So looking at just some of his stats there, we're going to go ahead and sign him because remember, one of our things is to sign a player, have him grow 10 rating points. So we'll send this offer and see if Mike Vandenbosch will join the squad here right away. So Derby have come back and said they'll pay the 1.6, which is his value, but I want to keep the price at 1.75. So if they're not going to meet it, maybe somebody else will. Alright, but that's going to be all for today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.